Hey there, sister. Welcome back to the Girl Out of Order podcast. I'm so glad that you've joined me today because what I want to talk about, I know, is epidemic in women. And it's the topic of feeling stuck, but I'm adding to it because for me right now, it's not just about being stuck, but it's about feeling uninspired. So today, while I'm recording this, it's the autumnal, I don't know if that's how you say that word, autumnal equinox. Really, why do we have to make words so fancy? Basically, what it means is it's the beginning of autumn. It's the beginning of the fall season. And I don't know where you live, but where I live in Northern Illinois, fall is both beautiful and super duper sad for me and a lot of people like me because it's the end of summer and it's sort of like that opening to winter and the leaves are falling and you can look at it like, yeah, things are dying, or you can look at it as an opportunity to recalibrate, like we talked about last week, an opportunity to reassess where you're at. I had all this inspiration, and this last week, while I'm sipping my pumpkin spice latte, I also just felt a little bit of that sadness. Because here's the deal, as women, we can hold both. We can actually hold it all because we're kind of badass. All right, maybe not all of it. I don't want to make it sound like you're not measuring up because you're not holding all the things. But I really feel sometimes that I can embrace the pumpkin spice and feel a little bit of the dread because this autumnal equinox, what this means is that the days are getting shorter now and we're going to have less light. And that's really hard for some people, especially myself. And so it's easy for me to start to feel a little bit of a drain on my energy. And I don't know if you can relate to that, but I suspect I'm not alone because when we go through seasons, whether you're a mom or not, I'm just going to speak for myself as a mama, but I know that women go through this in seasons of life, whether you're, actively momming, you're like empty nest momming, or you're not momming at all. We still go through seasons of life. And the actual physical seasons, the seasons of weather can be an opportunity, right? An opportunity to do a reset. Hey, we're shifting gears, we're shifting focuses, we're moving out all the fun, bright colors, and we're bringing in the earth tones and the calm and the apple pumpkin candles and the pumpkin spice, this, that, and the other. And it can be a beautiful time to sort of stop and appreciate what you experienced, right? And then what you're preparing for. And I got to say, though, sometimes it's easy for a lot of women to go, go, go. And then we're like, oh, poof, kind of crash. I don't know what that means. If there's a transcript, forgive me for however that was translated. But a lot of times we get going in these new seasons, right? We're wrapping, we're battening down the hatches, we're closing up the pool, we're, getting the kids ready for school, we're doing whatever it is, we're preparing for that last, quarter of the year at our work. And we get going, and then all of a sudden we're just kind of like hit a case of the blahs. And so the title for today is, are you feeling stuck or uninspired? Just keep showing up. And it sounds like a basic message because newsflash, it's a basic message because sometimes all we need is the simple, straight scoop. So if you're feeling a little stuck, if you're feeling uninspired, my message to you is very simple. It didn't say easy, but it is simple. And it is you've got to keep showing up. Because here's the deal. I don't know if if you're following me at all on socials, you would know that this last week I had the unbelievable honor of flying to Nashville and speaking at the My Nashville Women's Power Lunch. It was their first ever one, and it was a beautiful event. It was a small event, lots to learn, lots of takeaways. And I was able to share with the women my message of identity creation, which I am so excited. I'm going to tell you about that at the tail end of this episode. And I just guess I didn't realize how much energy I was putting into this talk. It was only the second time. Well, I guess it was the second time I've actually talked and not done an active workshop. But I really put a lot of energy into that talk. And I liken how I felt afterwards, when you're pushing against a door that you're trying to open, and then it flings open and you just kind of collapse because you're pushing so hard on the door that you then splat on your face. Getting splat on my face. But I remember just waking up the next day I got home really late and I just felt drained. And I felt, I didn't feel empty. I actually felt very, very full, because I think you can feel full. This is going to sound really weird. Sometimes the way my brain works. I felt really full and really drained. Isn't that silly? That's so funny, because the opposite of full is drained and the opposite of drained is full, but that's okay. I think the two things mean very different in this context. Okay. My heart was very full, but my energy was just super drained and depleted. And so I apologize to my assistant, who continues to ask me for my podcast title, because I couldn't give her one. And I just sent her a message and I said, I'm just struggling. I know I have a word for my sisters. I know I have a word for my community, but I'm wrestling because I just feel so uninspired. I'm like, how can I be uninspired? You all inspire me so much. I love this podcast. I love this community. And I just felt depleted. And so what is it for you? Are you weighed down by the crush of the fall schedule? Are you weighed down by something you might be going through, a health situation? Or maybe you're just in a bit of a slump. I don't know if you're like me, but I'm running my law firm and creating. I'm doing two different things, but my creativity this last week after Nashville just took a nosedive. Just literally, if you're watching this on YouTube, just off the cliff. And I'd have these moments, these little flashes where I'd feel like, oh yeah, that's it. That's what I want to share. And then it would slip away. And so I'm doing a really short episode this week because I just want to share with you where I'm at. Because I'm really suspicious that I'm not alone here, that I'm not just sitting here all by myself, that there are lots of you out there who might be in a season of a slump. Now, I'm not talking about that overall feeling of stuckness. We're going to do some work on that area coming up. We're just really focusing in on how to help you as a woman get unstuck. What I'm talking about is when you are in the process of creation. I don't know. Are you writing a book? Do you write a blog? Do you have your own podcast? Do you just share beautiful things on social media? Do you teach courses? Do you teach Pilates? I don't know. What is it for you? But something that involves your creativity and you've just hit a block. I know that if you're a writer, it's writer's block. For me, it was just an awareness that my creativity is tied so much to my energy, and my energy needs to be recharged when I put out something that's creative. You see the big cycle? Because the amount of energy I put in to creating my Nashville talk, I just don't think I was as dialed into how much it would take out of me. And so that's another word I have for you. Are you being realistic and mindful of how much energy, whatever it is you are either creating or even energy, relationships that you have? Are you mindful of how much energy it's taking to maintain or to create? I don't keep saying the same word. But for me, this topic of feeling stuck and uninspired is very specific because I'm learning how to do this creative work. right? So it's not like I've been a creator my whole life. I've been a lawyer. My gosh, I've been stuck in this big fat brain. Oh, by the way, if you're on YouTube, I'm wearing the coolest freaking hat. I'm total rabbit trail here. Just go there with me. It's from Wicked. It just says Defy Gravity. And I'm wearing it in particular for this episode. I bought it. I'm going to wear it all the time because I freaking love that song. But I bought it in particular for this episode to remind myself, hey, here's the deal, Christine. You are on a mission to serve women. And just because you're in a little valley, just because you're in a little slump, doesn't mean that you're not still making progress, because that's the good word I want you to hear. When I look at the lyrics to Defying Gravity, I'm reminding myself that's who I am. I am defying gravity. I am flying free. I am pursuing my dreams, and I'm not going to get derailed because I've hit a slump. So why am I recording this today? Why am I skating in under the deadline? Because I decided that I just needed to show up. I didn't create Girl Out of Order to be some kind of perfect produced, polished podcast. Wow, perfect produced, polished podcast. That's a lot of P's. Could I always up my game? Absolutely. Do I need to grow? 100%. But what I will not stray from is showing up as I am. And so here's what I wrestled with. See if you can relate. I wrestled with the temptation to just skip this week. I was like, you know what? I don't really have a good word. It's not coming to me. Don't feel inspired. You know what? I'm just going to skip this week. No harm, no foul. Nobody will notice. It'll be fine. And I'm just pushing too hard anyway. It's not going to be authentic. And that still small voice inside me said, whoa, hang on a second. You're going to show up. You're going to be honest. And you're just going to tell your community where you are. Because at the end of the day, I'm trusting the process. And that's new for me. Because everything in me has wanted to war against the process and try to intellectualize it and figure it out. And what I've come to understand is there's part of me that's wanted to make excuses and to make workarounds that don't sound like excuses. They sound like reasons. But if I'm being honest, they're very excuse-like. And so what do I want to share with you today? I just want to share with you, what do you do when you're stuck and feeling uninspired? When you have a project you're working on that you're excited about, you're passionate about, you know you want to do it, you know it's going to make a difference, whether it's financial difference or societal difference, or it's going to make a difference to your family, whatever it might be, and you're just stuck in a slump. What do you do? Back to the simple message. You just keep showing up. And so, my beautiful sisters, this isn't a revelatory podcast tonight. This is just an honest part of my journey. I've been in a little slump. And I'll tell you real honestly, since I had my hysterectomy, I thought I was doing fantastic. And then the hot flashes started. And when I say they've started, like the hot flashes I had before my hysterectomy were just like little itty bitty baby hot flashes. These hot flashes are so bad and so frequent that I'm literally sometimes standing in front of the judge praying I don't have sweat dripping off the tip of my nose. They're distracting, they're exhausting, they're anxiety producing, and they are draining my energy. And so here I sit before you, just recognizing that I need to just be honest where I'm at. And what am I going to do about it? Am I going to let life circumstances, am I going to let this slump, am I going to let these damn hot flashes that I'm taking hormones for and I pray will let up soon, am I going to let them take me off course? No, I'm not. So to honor my journey, to honor my mission, I made a decision because believe me, today all I want to do is lay on the couch. It's been a long soccer weekend. We drove a combined 11 hours for 2 different games. They were tough games. It didn't go the way we wanted them to. Like, I just want to lay on the couch and do nothing. And I'm here. Why am I here? Because I want to be an example for you, and I want to be an example for myself. I want to keep a promise to myself, What do you do when you're feeling in a slump and uninspired? Just show up for yourself. Show up for your dreams, show up for your mission, show up for your work, show up for the promise you made to your beautiful self. There's 2 different things you can do. First one, just take the next step. 2 millimeter shift, little itty bitty changes you can make each day to keep showing up even when you're in a slump, even when you're feeling stuck, even when you're uninspired, even when you have to chat GPT the most basic things. Just show up. Take the damn step, no matter how small, because what's going to happen is you're going to start making progress. You're going to start building that momentum again, and you're going to break out of your slump. Number 2, lean into the process. Trust that even in the seasons of creative depletion or exhaustion, showing up matters. Girl, just like me, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to have every step figured out. You don't have to always feel on fire. In fact, if you felt on fire all the time, you'd burn the hell up. Okay, well, that actually kind of is how I feel with my hot flashes, but that's another topic for another time. But on the serious note, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to show up, because this world is craving authenticity. This world is craving people, role models that people can look to and be like, I can relate to her. She's not perfect. She's showing up even imperfect. Take imperfect action. Don't wait to feel inspired. Don't wait to feel unstuck. Unstuck your damn self. You can do this. I can do this. This isn't a perfect podcast. I don't have a perfect message. The show notes are going to be short. It's going to be under the deadline. My VAs are probably really mad at me, and I don't freaking blame them, because you know what? I'm doing the best I can. I am showing up for you because I love you, I believe in you, and I believe in the message of Girl Out of Order. What we're doing here matters. Identity work matters. Showing up for your beautiful life matters. Creating a compelling life matters. Creating a system where you can, or a life where you can heal and grow and inspire and contribute matters. And to do that, even when you're stuck, you need to show up. Lean into the process. Trust in the mission. Trust in your intuition. Trust in yourself, and keep the promise to yourself. And that's what I'm doing here. I know this was short, but I truly hope you got a word from it. I hope that you will hear me in the back of your mind with my Defying Gravity hat, telling you when you want to make an excuse, when you want to step aside, when you want to step back, when you want to give up, when you want to wave the white flag, or just take a bath because you don't feel inspiration. I'm telling you right now, show the hell up. Just show up. Because here's the thing. Sometimes showing up is all that matters. I appreciate you listening to me on this crazy winding journey today. This is what I've got to give you this week. My inspiration, it's a little fleeting right now. My energy, it's a little depleted right now. But my love for you and my belief in this mission, unwavering. And so I'm holding on to that anchor, and I'm showing up even in my lack of inspiration, because this matters, because you matter, and I believe in you. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please, please, please do me a favor and do 2 things for Girl Out of Order. 1, join the Girl Out of Order Facebook community. If you're not in there, get in there. I am laying out a strategy for the next 7 weeks, and I'm so excited for you to get into there. And we are going to be having an October challenge. So I am praying you will join the Facebook community. Number 2, please leave us a review wherever you listen to this podcast, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen. These reviews are critical to helping grow our audience and grow our community. I would so appreciate it. We are going to be starting on a series that I'm really excited about. It is going to be based on the talk that I did for the My Nashville Women's Power Luncheon, and I'm going to introduce it next week. I'm going to give a little teaser. I'm going to introduce it next week, and then it's going to go on for 5 weeks after that. So I cannot wait for this series. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because the talk was a little bit too long, and so I'm excited to pull apart that talk and give you those nuggets each week for 5 weeks. Next week, we'll introduce it, and then 5 weeks after that. Thank you so much for being a girl out of order. Thank you for loving on your sisters. Thank you for, let me try that again. Thank you for creating a tribe of women that are changing this world with their energy, that are building bridges with one another, no matter how much we might disagree. These are crazy times in this world right now. We need your light. Please shine it brightly. We need all the hope. We need all the help. We need all the goodness. We need all the joy. We need all the kindness. We need all the friendship. We need all the connections that we can possibly build. And together we will just drown out the darkness that threatens us, because this world needs what only you can provide. Have an amazing week. I will see you next week because I will be showing up.